Hare Krishna. In this world, certain substances have their very specific nature. Just like if somebody goes into the deity room to render some service, when they come out, their body is fragrant because some chandan has touched their body. Similarly, when somebody applies chandan on your forehead, immediately there is a powerful fragrance. Or during Chandanayatra, when they are grinding chandan, people can see the fragrance of chandan. So the nature of chandan is, even when one takes an axe and hits a sandalwood tree, it renders even the tip of the axe fragrant. So the very nature of chandan is to spread that fragrance everywhere. Similarly, anything connected to Krishna is like chandan, fragrant. Like Krishna touches some water, it becomes Ganga. Krishna lifts the mountain, it becomes Govardhan, holy. Similarly, Krishna speaks something in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, that becomes Bhagavad Gita, a guiding light for the world for all time to come. Similarly, Krishna plays in a forest with his friends, that becomes a sacred forest called Vrindavan. So, anything that comes in contact with the Lord makes it holy. On the other hand, the specific nature of stool is a nasty smell. If you are walking on the road, some stool stuck to your shoe. When you come in, everybody will plug their nose. Nasty smell, go and wash your feet. Isn't it? Or if a cat or dog has passed stool, immediately there's a nasty smell there. Similarly, in this world, anything that is mundane, material, disconnected from the Lord, done in forgetfulness of the Lord, is like that stool, which is very polluting. Srila Prabhupada wrote in the first canto, there is obscene literature in the marketplace, like, for example, magazines on cinema stars, magazines on politicians, quarrels and fights, magazines on sports, and all kinds of sense gratificatory magazines talking about different type of foods, or different type of tourist places. Everything completely cut off from the Supreme Lord, with no connection to Him. Simply stool. It is simply obscene literature. In fact, if a student goes to a cyber center and watches pornography, he is actually arrestable. According to the laws of many of the countries, one is not supposed to watch porn openly. Why? Because it brings the animal out of a man. Therefore, there are strict laws prohibiting even movies. There is censoring of the movies. They cut some very dirty sex portion of the movies, and there is a restriction. Why? Because if such things are shown more in the public, the society will become uncontrollable for the police. So, but still, there are people who use the money as a means to do bribing and bring out the obscene literature because they want to multiply that money. Even the advertisements for earning money for this treating the AIDS, even those advertisements are sexy advertisements. How foolish it is. Actually, AIDS, for curing AIDS, they are collecting money and they are showing dirty advertisements for that. So, the world is full of obscene literature, obscene movies, which is like stool, putrefying this material world. So, Srila Prabhupada wrote in the first canto, Tadvag visargo janatagha viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abadhavatyapi namanyanantasya yashon kitaniyat Shrinvanti gayanti grinanti sadavaha. While writing purport to this verse in the previous one, Prabhupada said, although many governments are struggling hard to control criminal activities, gang rapes, and such kinds of things, many governments are failing because obscene literature are multiplying. This is because Indians have failed in their duty in taking spirituality to all over the world, Prabhupada says, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. Because India is the spiritual capital of the world. Gulf is a oil capital. Switzerland is a watch capital. Germany is a machines capital. Japan is, they have their hardwares for computer and everything. Every country is having something unique, special. And India's speciality is spirituality. But Indians have become foolish, simply eating and sleeping and making money, going abroad and filling up their pockets, and not distributing the spiritual knowledge all over the world. Therefore, Indians are to be blamed for this, for their irresponsible behavior and oriented towards sense gratification, Prabhupada says. So therefore, even now, better late than never, Indians should wake up, study the Gita Bhagavatam themselves, and distribute this chandan-like fragrance all over the world. And the living entities are burning in the fire of material existence. Put off that fire, quench their thirst for reading literature by distributing the spiritual literature. And Prabhupada says every conditioned soul or a liberated soul has to have a hero to worship, whether in conditioned stage or a liberated stage. Either you worship Krishna as the hero or Rama as the hero, or you are going to take some Bollywood, Hollywood heroes or sports stars as your heroes. So therefore give them the right hero, who is the imperishable hero, eternal hero, everlasting hero, who is filled with all the 6 opulences in oceanic proportion. If you don't give them that, they are going to accept false heroes who become zeros eventually. So therefore, when they read this literature, they will be inspired to chant the holy name. When we are going in the street for Harinam Sankirtan, we see many youngsters looking like this, turning their face away. Why? Because we have not given them the literature, right type of literature. On the other hand, they will be going and watching a Hollywood, Bollywood movie. So it is a duty of, sole duty of the Indians. Bharata bhumita hoila manusha janmayar janma sartaka kori kara para upakar. Like that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. When Indians come forward to take up this mission of distributing this literature all over the world, by this, people will also start having tilak on their foreheads, chanting beads on their necks, wearing dhoti kurta saris, and chanting and dancing to the tune of the holy name, accepting only prasad, worshipping the deities. Everything will come by distributing this literature, because this is like chandan, which will increase the fragrance, the spiritual fragrance all over the world. Krishna pada padma gandha yai jana pai. Kaviraj Goswami says, if anybody gets the chandan of Krishna's lotus feet, coming from his feet, he will not be attracted even to become Brahma or Indra also, he says. He can kick away all the material sense gratification and be delighting in spiritual joy of being a servant of Krishna. And therefore, the spiritual literature is closely connected to the spiritual culture. And material literature is closely connected to mundane, foolish, animalistic material culture. If you want to see spiritual culture spreading all over the world, then this literature given by Srila Prabhupada should be distributed widely and as much as we can to the best of our capacity. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Vitran Program ki, Harinam Prabhu ki. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like desert trees, who are ocean of mercy, full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha krupa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrinda ki, Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki.